Hello, friends. Today's movie is going to be a gripping story filled with betrayal, greed, survival, and unexpected revenge. At first, it may seem like the simple life of a poor married couple trying to earn a living in a small town, but everything changes when one reckless decision destroys their peaceful world. What begins as a dangerous gambling habit soon turns into a nightmare involving powerful people, broken trust, and a desperate fight for freedom. This movie will take you through emotional struggles, shocking betrayals, painful sacrifices, and a clever plan for revenge that nobody sees coming. You'll witness how an ordinary woman transforms into a strong and fearless person when the people she loves are threatened. If you enjoy movie recaps packed with suspense, crime, drama, and powerful female characters, then this movie is definitely for you. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into today's unforgettable movie recap. The story begins in a small town. Here, the bidding was often done on the competition of roosters. However, these matches were wrong. Therefore, the police also used to conduct raids from time to time. A married couple also lived in this town. The boy's name was Mason, while his wife's name was Juhai. Mason had a habit of bidding on the roosters and had a tight hand when he lost. To run the household, Mason worked on a chicken farm and his boss was happy with his work. Today, her boss comes to her and asks her about the chickens. Mason explains that all the roosters are ready for a fight. Mason was accompanied by his friend Barrow. Mason's boss used to prepare chickens for the fight and win a lot of money by having them compete. Juhai also ran a small shop to help Mason. Juhai's friend's name was Sophie, and she used to come to Juhai often. Sophie used to earn money by selling her body, and she was very happy with her work. A few days later, there was going to be a fight of chickens in the town. The boss was also about to watch the match, and in the meantime, his eyes fall on Juhai. The boss hurriedly calls Mason, who is standing next to Juhai, and asks him about Juhai. Mason tells me she's my wife. The boss further asks, what is she doing here? Mason then reveals that she is selling food and drink. The boss now asks her to leave, after which Mason goes to Juhai. The boss's eyes were going to Juhai again and again, and this thing was also known to Juhai. Shortly after, the competition begins. As usual, this time too, the boss's chickens win, due to which the boss becomes wealthy. At night, Mason tells his wife Juhai that I am not happy with my life. I want to make more money. I want to bid on the bout again so that we can win money and go to the city and live a good life. Juhai explains to him that we are living a good life. But Mason didn't like his life. The very next day, Mason buys the rooster and has it combed. This time, Mason's luck favors him and he wins the match. At night, Mason brings food from outside and also tells Juhai about his victory. Juhai is not too happy with her victory because Mason had won a couple of times in the past and lost many times after that. The next day, Mason again has his combed and this time he loses the match. The bout was so fierce that Mason's dies in it. Mason hurriedly comes to Juhai's shop and asks her to go home. Meanwhile, a man comes and asks Mason for money. Mason tells him that I know you're one and that I will give you your money soon. Saying this, he takes Juhai away. After which, Banda takes over Juhai's shop. Juhai was extremely angry with him because of Mason's defeat. She tells Mason that your bad habit will spoil our lives. I stopped you before, but you didn't listen to me. Mason promises him that I will no longer bid on the bout and will work diligently on the form. The next day, Mason quietly comes to the boss's farm and then starts stealing his. Mason's friend Barrow was also at the farm and he sees Mason stealing. He hurriedly approaches Mason to stop him from stealing. Mason tells him that he needs a lot of money. After the fight, I will put the rooster back and no one will even know about it. Saying this, Mason steals away and Barrow is left in thought. As soon as Mason leaves, Barrow comes straight to the boss and tells him about Mason's theft. Shortly after, Mason and Juhai were caught by the boss's men. The boss confronts both of them and starts killing Mason as soon as he arrives. After this, the boss asks his servants, "Why did you bring Juhai?" The boss's men say that Juhai is beautiful in appearance, so we picked it up too. The boss was happy to listen to his servants. At his behest, Mason starts being killed again, and in the meantime, Juhai stops them by screaming. The boss tells Juhai that Mason has stolen. This bastard has broken my trust, so he will definitely be punished. Juhai tells the boss that you forgive my husband, and I can do anything for him. Hearing Juhai's words, the boss asks her to take off her clothes in front of everyone. Juhai loved her husband very much. That's why she could do anything to save him. As soon as she starts to undress, the boss stops her and takes her to his room. As soon as he came into the room, the boss started forcing himself with Juhai. After this, when Juhai asks him about Mason, he says that Mason will stay with me for a few days. Juhai starts crying after hearing the boss's words. As night fell, Juhai tells Sophie that the boss forced her and Mason is still in the possession of the boss. Sophie tells him to go to the police. But the boss also had a lot of influence in the police, so Juhai refuses to go to the police. Juhai now also wanted to get rid of Mason and also wanted to take revenge from the boss. He needed Sophie's help for this thing, and Sophie was ready to help him. After a while, a rich man named John was sitting in his car, waiting for Sophie. John often met Sophie. Soon, Sophie comes to him. After Sophie, Juhai also comes to the car because both of them wanted to please John so that he could get some help from him. Sophie then comes to the boss's farm. Sophie gets Barrow here. After Sophie, Juhai also comes to the farm, and together they start threatening Barrow. The two ask him about Mason. As soon as Barrow tells them about Mason, the two girls leave. The next day, Juhai herself comes to the boss. The boss asks her the reason for coming here, in response to which Juhai says, "I have fallen in love with you, and I want to get your love once again." The boss was happy to hear Juhai's words. By the way, Juhai was doing all this to win the trust of the boss so that she could take revenge from the boss after seeing the opportunity. A few days later, the chickens were about to be combined. This time, there was the boss on one side and Sophie's rich friend John on the other. The match starts soon, and this time the boss loses the match. John was a man of considerable money. He had put a lot of money into the bid, due to which the boss also had to put a lot of money in the bid. The boss had been robbed of everything because of the defeat, and he too was now as poor as Mason. Sophie knew that Juhai had taken her revenge. While the boss was upset, he asks his servants about Juhai. But no one knew anything about Juhai and where she went. On the other hand, Juhai had released Mason from the boss's captivity, and she took him and ran away from the town. Juhai and Sophie had taken John's help. Both of them had prepared him to invest big money in the competition. Juhai had taken her revenge by ruining the boss and saving Mason. With this is the end of the story. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you are a fan of such videos, then please subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Until then, good luck.